Ask and you shall receive. How to use questions to build rapport, trust, and intimacy. Hello everyone, and welcome to this video presentation on 100 best questions to ask to get to know someone better, according to experts. In this video presentation, we will explore the art and science of asking questions and how it can help us connect with others, learn about their interests, values, and perspectives, and deepen our relationships. We will also discuss some tips and guidelines on how to ask questions that are not only relevant and interesting, but also respectful and appropriate for the situation and the person we are talking to. Finally, we will share some examples of different types of questions that you can use depending on the context and the level of intimacy you want to achieve, whether it's with a new friend, a coworker, a date, or a long-term partner. One of the easiest and most natural ways to get to know someone better is to ask them about their likes and dislikes. This can help you discover their preferences, hobbies, and opinions on various topics, such as food, music, movies, books, sports, etc. However, you don't want to ask questions that are too personal, too vague, or too boring. You want to ask questions that are specific, relevant, and interesting, and that can reveal something about the person's personality, background, and memories. For example, you could ask, what is something you love that most people don't like? What is the best gift you ever received or gave to someone? What is a hobby or skill that you have always wanted to learn? What is your favorite childhood memory? What is something that you are obsessed with right now? By asking questions like these, you can learn more about the person's likes and dislikes, and also about their passions, experiences, and dreams. You can also use their answers as a way to find common ground and spark conversation. For example, you could say, "Oh, I love that too. Why do you think most people don't like it? That sounds like a wonderful gift. How did you come up with that idea? I have always wanted to learn that too. Have you tried any online courses or books? That sounds like a fun memory. What made it so special? I am obsessed with that too. Have you seen the latest episode or read the latest news?" By doing this, you can show that you're interested in what they have to say and that you have something in common with them. This can help you build rapport, trust, and intimacy with the person and make the conversation more enjoyable and engaging. Another way to get to know someone better is to ask them about their hopes, dreams, and fears. This can help you discover their goals, passions, and challenges in life, and what drives them to pursue or avoid certain things. However, you don't want to ask questions that are too invasive, too sensitive, or too negative. You want to ask questions that are respectful, supportive, and positive, and that can elicit profound and emotional responses. For example, you could ask, what is something you are really proud of? What is something you are really excited about? What is something you are really scared of? What is something you are really grateful for? What is something you are really curious about? By asking questions like these, you can learn more about the person's hopes, dreams, and fears, and also about their values and motivations. You can also use their answers as a way to understand them better and to empathize with them. For example, you could say, "That is amazing. How did you achieve that? That sounds awesome. What are you looking forward to the most? That is understandable. How do you cope with that? That is wonderful. How do you express your gratitude? That is fascinating. How do you satisfy your curiosity?" By doing this, you can show that you care about what they have to say and that you respect their feelings and choices. This can help you build trust, intimacy, and rapport with the person and make the conversation more meaningful and engaging. One of the most stimulating and challenging ways to get to know someone better is to ask them about their views, beliefs, and perspectives on various issues, such as politics, religion, ethics, morality, etc. This can help you discover their opinions, arguments, and evidence on different topics and how they form and express them. However, you don't want to ask questions that are too aggressive, too controversial, or too disrespectful. You want to ask questions that are respectful, curious, and open-minded, and that can inspire opinionated and lively discussion. For example, you could ask, what is something you strongly believe in that most people disagree with? What is something you changed your mind about after learning more about it? What is something you would never compromise on, no matter what? What is something you are willing to admit that you don't know or understand? What is something you would like to know more about from someone who has a different perspective than you? By asking questions like these, you can learn more about the person's views, beliefs, and perspectives, and also about their reasoning and communication skills. You can also use their answers as a way to learn from their experiences and insights, and to challenge your own assumptions and biases. For example, you could say, "That is interesting. Why do you believe that? That is impressive. What made you change your mind? That is admirable. How do you uphold that value? That is humble. How do you cope with that uncertainty? That is curious. What would you like to ask them? By doing this, you can show that you are interested in what they have to say and that you respect their views and beliefs, even if you don't agree with them. This can help you build trust, rapport, and intimacy with the person and make the conversation more engaging and enlightening. In this part, we will explore some questions that can help us get to know someone better through their family and community. Family and community are important aspects of a person's identity, but they can also be sensitive topics for some people. Therefore, we need to be respectful and mindful of how we ask questions about someone's relationships, connections, and influences. Some examples of questions that can uncover someone's sense of home, belonging, and support are: who is the most important person in your life and why? Who in your life most makes you feel a sense of home? Do you have a mentor? Have you ever broken up with a friend, and why? How many close friends is ideal? These questions can help us learn more about someone's values, preferences, and experiences. They can also show us how someone relates to others and what kind of support they have in their life. Another benefit of asking questions about family and community is that we can use them as a way to appreciate someone's culture and background. Culture and background can influence how someone views family and community and what kind of traditions, customs, and beliefs they have. By asking questions that show curiosity and respect for someone's culture and background, we can build rapport and trust with them. Some examples of questions that can appreciate someone's culture and background are: how is your culture/background important to you? What are some traditions or celebrations that you enjoy in your family or community? How do you express your identity through your family or community? What are some challenges or opportunities that you face because of your culture or background? How do you balance your culture/background with other aspects of your life? These questions can help us understand someone's perspective, values, and goals. They can also show us how someone navigates their identity and adapts to different situations. By asking questions about family and community, we can get to know someone better on a deeper level. We can also show them that we care about who they are and where they come from. However, we need to be careful not to make assumptions, judgments, or comparisons based on someone's family and community. We need to listen actively, empathetically, and openly to their answers and share our own experiences when appropriate. This way, we can create a meaningful and respectful conversation with someone. One of the most important aspects of getting to know someone is understanding their personal history and personality essence. These are the factors that shape who they are, how they see themselves, and what makes them unique. However, asking someone about these topics can be tricky, as you don't want to come across as intrusive, judgmental, or insensitive. So, how can you ask someone about their self-perception, identity, and character in a respectful and curious way? One strategy is to use open-ended questions that invite the person to share their stories, opinions, and feelings. For example, you can ask, what are some of the most memorable experiences or events that have influenced your life? How do you describe yourself in 3 words? Why did you choose those words? What are some of the things that you are passionate about or enjoy doing? What are some of the challenges or difficulties that you have faced or overcome in your life? How do you cope with stress, frustration, or disappointment? What are some of the values or principles that guide your decisions and actions? What are some of the goals or dreams that you have for yourself or others? How do you like to spend your free time? What are some of the hobbies or interests that you have? These questions can help you learn more about someone's strengths, weaknesses, and quirks, as well as their personal history and personality essence. By asking these questions, you are showing interest and respect for the person's individuality and uniqueness. You are also creating an opportunity for deeper and more meaningful conversations. Work is an important part of our lives, but it can also be a tricky topic to talk about. How do you ask someone about their career, achievements, and aspirations without being boring or intrusive? How do you show genuine interest and appreciation for their work without sounding like you are interviewing them or flattering them? One way to make the conversation more engaging and meaningful is to ask open-ended questions that can highlight someone's skills, interests, and challenges. For example, instead of asking what do you do? Or how long have you been working there? You could ask, what are some of the projects that you are most proud of or excited about? What are some of the skills or knowledge that you have learned or improved through your work? What are some of the goals or dreams that you have for your career or personal growth? What are some of the challenges or difficulties that you face or overcome in your work? These questions can help you learn more about the person's passions, achievements, and struggles, and also show that you respect and admire their work. You can also use work as a way to compliment someone's accomplishments and potential by saying things like, "That sounds amazing. You must be very talented and hardworking." That's very impressive. You have achieved a lot in your field. That's very inspiring. You have a lot of ambition and vision. That's very admirable. You have overcome a lot of obstacles and challenges. By asking these questions and giving these compliments, you can make the conversation more interesting and positive and also build rapport and trust with the person. You can also share your own work experiences and aspirations and find common ground or areas of mutual interest or support. Work can be a great way to connect with someone if you know how to ask the right questions and give the right feedback. In this part, we will discuss how to ask someone about their values. Values are the beliefs and ideals that guide our decisions and actions. They reflect what is important to us and what we care about. Values can also be a source of motivation, inspiration, and connection with others. However, asking someone about their values can be tricky, especially if they are different from ours. We don't want to offend, judge, or argue with them. We want to understand, respect, and appreciate them. So how can we do that? One way is to use open-ended questions that invite them to share their perspectives and experiences. For example, we can ask, what are some of the values that you live by? How do you express your values in your daily life? What are some of the challenges or dilemmas that you face when trying to uphold your values? How do your values influence your goals and aspirations? These questions can help us explore someone's worldview, spirituality, and politics without being confrontational or intrusive. They can also help us discover common ground and differences that can enrich our relationship. Another way to ask someone about their values is to use values as a way to align with their vision and purpose. For example, we can say, I admire your value of honesty. How do you practice it in your work? I share your value of compassion. How do you show it to others? I respect your value of freedom. How do you pursue it in your life? These statements can help us express our appreciation and interest in their values. They can also help us build rapport and trust with them. Asking someone about their values can be a rewarding and meaningful conversation. It can help us learn more about them and ourselves. It can also help us create a deeper and stronger connection with them. Sometimes, you might want to ask someone some questions that are not related to any specific topic, but rather to their fun, random, and creative side. These questions can help you get to know someone better, as well as showcase your own humor, imagination, and preferences. They can also be a great way to have fun and relax with someone, especially if you are feeling nervous or bored. Some examples of miscellaneous/casual questions are, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? What is something that you're obsessed with or passionate about? If you won $1 million, what would you do with it? What is the weirdest or funniest thing that ever happened to you? What are some of your guilty pleasures or guilty pleasures that you would like to try? What are some of your favorite movies, books, or TV shows and why? When you ask these kinds of questions, make sure to be respectful, curious, and open-minded. Don't judge or criticize someone's answers, but rather try to understand their perspective and share your own. You can also use these questions as a springboard for more conversation by asking follow-up questions, giving comments, or telling stories. Remember, the goal is to have fun and connect with someone, not to interrogate or impress them. In this video presentation, we have learned how to use questions as a tool to build rapport, trust, and intimacy with someone. We have seen how to listen actively, follow up appropriately, and share your own answers. We have also discussed how to avoid asking too many questions, asking inappropriate questions, or asking questions without genuine interest. Finally, we have explored how to adapt your questions to the situation, the person, and the goal of the conversation. Questions are powerful tools that can help you connect with others, learn from them, and show them that you care. However, questions are not enough by themselves. You also need to pay attention to the nonverbal cues, the tone of voice, and the feedback that you receive from the other person. You need to be respectful, curious, and empathetic. You need to be yourself and let the other person be themselves. I hope you have enjoyed this video presentation and learned some useful tips on how to ask better questions. Thank you for your attention and participation. If you have any questions and/or comments, please feel free to write in the comments section.